week 6.
Looks like we are live. Everything looks good for Champ Select, so I'm going to let them know stream is R. And I need to just get out of their team. You know, someone was just telling me, I thought of this because I just had a key fragment pop up for like honors. Someone was telling me earlier, apparently, I can't remember who it was, but they were saying someone had just made like a new alt account and they leveled it for a couple days by just playing like fives with like the same group of people. Mm-hmm. And they all gave him, all four of them honored him every match and gave him the same honor, and it like broke the client because he had like 536% more honors than the average player, and so it just kept giving him key fragments. So it's like, amazing. Congrats, you're 500% more honorable than anybody else. Also, we don't really know how to handle that. You know, small indie company problems.
Yeah, multi-dollar company.
At least $4.
I've spent more than $4 on this game.
I am both proud and horrified by how much I've spent on this game because it's less than everyone else who was in chat with me when I checked, but it is still more money than I'm proud to admit.
I think I'm gonna check mine.
My only complaint is I checked mine and it was $440.
That's like half. Last I checked, it was $850 for me, but I've been playing this game for 8 years.
My only complaint is right before I checked, I just bought $20 of RP. So if I had only checked first, I would have had $420 and could have put it on the page.
Oh, that's pain.
Truly a heartbreaker.
Absolutely heartbreaking.
All right, I'm gonna pull up the Twitch, make sure everything's working, and
show me the money.
Get chat going because for some reason, even when I stream,
we haven't broken 1,000 yet.
Fair enough.
At this moment, I have spent $940 on League of Legends.
Fair enough. That's really not bad, all things considered. Like it's a good chunk of cash, but
it's a little over $100 a year.
Yeah, it's not awful. And I mean, to be fair, how many hours of like fun have you gotten out of it? You know.
Oh, so much.
Like if somebody told you like, hey, buy this like Xbox game, it's going to cost you $100 yearly subscription, but also you're going to play it for like 1,000 hours a year. You'd probably be like, you know what? That's not bad.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. I think we're into it. I saw a timer.
Like all the people who bought Skyrim multiple times.
Yeah. Dude,
thousands of hours.
Not to be a heathen, but I haven't played Skyrim yet.
Oh my god, it's a classic.
I know. It's right up my alley. Everything about it suggests it's a game that I would love. I just haven't, and I don't know why. Excuse me. Anyway, we didn't really do an intro, and we're a little less specific about that around these parts. But hello, everybody. Welcome to another rousing evening of PMA LCS action. Tonight we have B versus Doms. I don't actually know what either of those names stand for.
So B's is the Bee's Knees.
Oh, cute.
And Doms is the Dylan Hortense Memorial Stadium. So
that reminds me of, for the last like 25 years, all of my grandma's work friends, my mom's work friends from when she worked for a like small town paper in Illinois. Her work friends get together yearly to host a memorial dinner for my grandma, who's very much not dead. So every year they have the Joycillian Memorial Dinner, and she's still kicking. She shows up to the dinner. Like,
oh. That's funny. But already bands are coming out pretty quick. We have Anivia and Tarek banned on the side of B, and now the Varus, and then on the side of Doms we have the Mordekaiser, Sejuani taken off the table, And the final ban
Is Tark really in that good of a spot right now? He's like
Tarek is actually
ban worthy.
pretty strong. Plus,
Huh.
Obstitute Stario, formerly known as Mr. Matt, is a very good Tarek player. Um, Tarek having the ability to sort of
Oh.
spam his heals, especially with the after the buffs to what is the item? Shirelia's
You know, I would have
makes
known that if I knew that
very
Asta
good.
Tustaria was Mr. Matt, because I've played with
Yeah,
his Tarek. I
that's
didn't realize that was
that's
who
the
that account
entire
belonged
reason
to.
he changed his name so that he would be a lower draft pick. But on the side of Dom's, the final ban is the Tristana. Swain first picked on the side of B. Um, we'll see what they do
Nico's
with that.
interesting. I feel like the Nico just sort of assumes the Swain is support. I mean, it seems like Swain
Um,
support's pretty popular right now.
well, the thing is, Symphonia John has played the Swain in the. He played versus my team, GG Easy, when we played them. I believe that was last week.
Hmm.
Um, it was either last week or the week before. I do not remember, if I'm being completely honest. But
They all run together,
um,
man.
yeah, the Lucian, Hover, the opposite side on Doms, we have the Nico, the Senna pulled out.
And the
Both of
Lucian
those,
lock-in.
both of those characters very, very good. The Nico pick makes me wonder if they're going to do a lane swap and have it be for Klugscheißer, because Klug is a avid Nico player. Although Klug has been playing AD carry all split,
Well, and I
so
like the
in that case, it'd be
flexibility
going
Senna
for
gives you. You know,
absolutely.
like sure, it could be Senna AD with Nico, but it also could be fasting Senna with Nico, or it could be
Hmm.
fasting Senna and you pick whatever you want to go with it, or it could be AD
Yeah,
Senna and you pick what it. You know, like
yeah.
picking Senna in that first chunk of 2 gives you a ton of flexibility the rest of the draft.
Yep. And speaking of flexibility, we have the Lucian locked in. Lucian most likely going to be going to Bees R Us. Bees R Us has been known to play Lucian. He played it again versus our team when we played them. Um, he took a top lane, he took a mid lane. So they basically just pick Lucian for him and say, all right, whatever matchup feels better for you is where you'll go with it.
Yeah, which
Um,
again is
so
smart.
Alistar also a very good pick.
I think the Volibear
Uh,
is really smart here too, right? Like Volibear doesn't have a lot of really strong counters. It's a flexible jungle top. Like you can flex
yep.
it and you keep your top laner and your jungler from getting like totally banned out in the next 2 bans.
Yeah, plus it's a very solid top lane pick.
No.
Really fits the style of I do not remember who Aruyan and the real JLP. JLP, my province alumni coordinator.
Really?
Love the guy. Yep,
There
love
we go.
Max. I specifically signed up to cast this so that I could flame him the entire time.
Fair enough.
He asked me to do it, so I promise I'm not being that toxic.
All right. All
But yeah,
toxicity is
Volibear.
requested by Max.
Yep, Volibear is a pretty good weak side, just going full tank. You don't have to really worry that much, but also in the hands of a good jungler like Aruyan, gonna be able to put out a lot of early pressure. And we actually have Rumble Teemo banned out from the
The
side
Rumble
of
doesn't surprise me. The Teemo surprises me a little.
Teemo. Yeah, I don't know why they banned that. They might have quite honestly just run out of ideas for what to ban.
And just been like,
Uh,
well, we don't want to deal with this, I guess.
yeah, exactly. So
Fair.
then Corky, another really good ban away from literally Nate, and the talent as well banned away.
Speaking
So,
of which, Nate is from my chapter.
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So
I don't think we're in
see.
the same family tree, but same chapter's close enough.
Okay, so actually that may be a fasting Senna with a Nico down bottom. Now that you mention it, with the Xerath now locked in.
Yeah.
So Xerath locked in for literally Nate. It's also possible that they send the Nico mid and have a Xerath with the fasting Senna, but I think it's more likely that you'll have the Nico with the Senna.
No. Nate's one of those people I feel so weird about putting bans into him because, like, they,
Guy's a really big champion.
he has such a huge pool. So, like, you ban Anivia, you ban Talon, you ban Corki, and then he's just like, okay, Xerath's
Rise.
like super comfortable. Rise is super comfortable. Like,
Yeah.
he's got such a deep pool with like such skill on things deeper in his pool. Sometimes I wonder if the play is just to let him do whatever he wants and then counter it in game.
Yep, and so this is actually the exact same comp that B ran versus us. So it's going to be the Swain bot lane with the Alistar support, Lucian in the mid
Interesting,
lane
Lucian
with the
mid.
Ornn top and the Udyr jungle. Slasha was actually putting out so much pressure in the early game with his Udyr.
Yeah.
So
And
we'll see how it works out.
Udyr's a little bit less nutty with the jungle changes than he was pre-change, but like, dude's still good. you
Yeah.
know.
Plus, you have you have really good engage with the Alistar with the Ornn, and it's actually a Cho'Gath locked in. So that's
So that
probably
makes
going to
me
be a
think
top lane Cho'Gath.
Volibear's jungle.
That's going to be a Volibear jungle because Cho'Gath is it's a very max pick
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
top lane for the real JLP. So, like I said, he likes to play tanks. He likes to play weak side, and he's going to be playing tank wars in the top lane versus Ornn. So Cho'Gath is going to do exactly what he wants to do. So my only issue with their team comp is they're very heavy magic damage.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully for them, I guess, magic resist itemization is not the best spot, so that's a little bit of their saving grace. But it plays really well into the enemy team's itemization a little bit because Swain later on he's going to be building damage, but it also, you can always throw like a Spirit Visage in for all of the healing that he's going to have, and that's going to fit really well into his itemization. Obviously, you have the Force of Nature for Udyr that's going to give him the movement speed and the magic resist, so it's not going to be till the mid-late game that you're going to really see this kind of itemization coming out, but the option is there.
Your judgment is clouded.
But I have to say, all in all, I really like both comps. You have a lot more poke-heavy anti-dive with the side of Doms, whereas B is looking to come in, get a really good Ornn ultimate or an Alistar flank or a flash headbutt pulverize onto a carry like the Senna. Because like I said, you kill the Senna, you don't really have a lot of physical damage or any of the sustain really to go along with it. So really, you kill the Senna, stack a magic resist, and hope to God you survive and don't get eaten by the Cho'Gath. But overall, who do you think? Which team, based on team comp alone?
On team comp alone. Dang. I feel good about Doms, honestly. I think the Cho'Gath with Volibear gives them so much macro control. It gives them so much potential to control Dragon and Rift Heralds and Barons and objectives. I could not think of the word objectives. I'm like, all of those, what are those as like a team objectives? It gives them a ton of objective control. And I think one of the huge benefits of their team is they have a lot of dudes with a lot of just game knowledge. Like I recently played with Klugashaisa for the first time. He has really good macro callouts. Nate's been playing since like the beginning of time, so he's got just a game sense in that sense. I know JLP is very familiar with the ins and outs of the game. Mr. Matt has a really good game sense. Orion is a macro jungle player, right? Like I feel like they've got 5 dudes who are comfortable with the macro. So having like Cho Volibear, Xerath's got that crazy ult range. Like you've just got a lot of potential to roam and take advantage of objectives. But I think lane to lane, Slaga's Udyr is terrifying. Like Bizarre Us on the Lucian definitely gives Nate a run for his money. I don't know how the Ornn Cho'Gath matchup goes, but I know Hook My Book's got a damn good Ornn. So, it's also like, I think macro game, I go Doms, but lane phase, I wouldn't be surprised to see an advantage from Bees.
I actually agree. So we saw a little bit of the Fasting Senna come out yesterday in the 4 tops and a bottom versus, I do not remember who they played. Yeah, we saw we saw them play it yesterday. Oh, it's the Bimmy Jimmy Power Hour.
Oh yeah, they played me.
Right. So we saw it yesterday in that series, and one of the things that I saw that one of the best ways to sort of punish this fasting Senna is she's very squishy unless she goes for the tank build. But if she goes for the tank build, she's not going to be doing as much DPS and as much damage. So what I think is a really good way to sort of negate this is you go for a super heavy all-in sort of style in the bot lane, and Swain Alistar is just what you're looking for. So
Fair.
you have the ability to sort of lock down the Senna. You have a lot of damage with the Swain to be able to really punish her, and you also have really good gank assist with the Udyr as well, because Udyr runs in, gets the stun, and Swain's able to pull them in and then root them again. So you just have a lot of really good chain CC to really try and get this bot lane. What I'm getting at is, I think that they should be a lot more focused on the bot side for B, because top lane is a tank battle. It's going to be very, even regardless of how well you get your top laner snowballing. And mid lane, Lucian's just going to have prio over Xerath for the most part. Xerath is more of a farm up, get to the mid game, get your items, and start wave clearing and poking people out. But Lucian is just a super heavy, in your face, do a lot of damage. So honestly, I think overall, I love all of the people on Dom very much. However, I think team comp wise, I have to give the game initial thoughts at least over to B.
Fair. I think that's
Of
perfectly
course.
reasonable.
Yeah, of course. Human error is a thing, and it's also possible that people just play better. Like I know, like I said, Klugscheißer is like the Nico guy. He has marketed himself as the Nico guy. So we'll see how. I haven't seen him play it in the bot lane, but we'll see how well he's able to do that. Because
we were talking about this yesterday. Like I think PMA LCS in general likes to ban people's one tricks. Like we get very scared of people's one tricks. But Klugscheiße has done this thing where he just has played AD all season, so people are like, "Oh, well, he's not an Eco one trick; he's an ADC." So they let it through, and he's like,
"Oh yes, it's all coming together." But
this mine now, and he's still sort of playing it as an ADC, right? Like, so,
yeah,
he's gonna have to farm early game and let Senna sort of vibe on the back.
One thing I do think will be a little bit difficult for B though is whenever you're trying to gank as the Udyr, you have to run at people. Like you don't, if you don't have flash up, you are literally just running in a straight line hoping to get somebody. Whereas you have 3 straight line skill shots of the Xerath E, the Nico E, and the Senna W, I think it is, that are all just going to hit you straight in the face as you try to run at them, and they'll, CC and you just walk away. So the kiting potential is very strong from the side of Doms. So I wonder how well that will do versus this the comp from Bs, but we'll have to see.
Fair.
And it is actually the Glacial Augment coming out for Asatustaria. So he is not going to be going for the tank Senna. Something else of note is we actually have Ignite on the Nico. So going very aggressive, trying to really punish the Swain, not really let him be able to really farm up and sustain, since Swain is a little bit of a shorter range carry. So they really want to be able to bully him as much as possible, look to see if they can try and get an all-in and kill him early on with the Ignite, really cut the healing down.
All right. I am in.
Pause at 10 seconds.
At 10.
All right, I am paused at 10.
Let me do one thing with my interface. I like to have it set to champion name when I play, but champion name does not work super well for casting.
Yep.
So, let's transition that, close that, and I'm ready whenever you are ready.
Okay. On go. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, let's get scoreboard up
Alright.
there.
And
Objective
time
timers.
controls are gone.
Where's time
So
controls?
we're getting into it. Things of note.
All right.
Already, we have the patented PMLCS pause.
Happy PMA LCS, everybody.
We love to see it.
You do. You know, at this point, twitch.tv/DarachiTFT, honestly.
And already, Max in chat saying if I'm blaming him yet. I haven't seen you play yet, so I can't really say for sure. Although you did start Doran's Ring. It's fine.
What did you
Honestly,
start
it's
Doran's Ring on? What's Max playing?
You can start Doran's Ring, you can start Doran's Shield. Honestly, I think either's fine. You go a little bit more aggressive if you go with the Doran's Ring, but if you go Doran's Shield, you just sort of go tank for tank. But
just making sure everybody is in their rightful places on the score menu. Oh, and I forgot to update. Not that it's a huge deal.
okay, so we are on pause. We're getting back into it.
Good news
I
is
would
last
like
time I
to-
casted, Doms was also one of the teams, so I can just leave Doms on my overlay.
Nice and easy. So it looks like they're looking for a 5-stack here. 5-point coming out from the red side. I think that's a really good idea. I don't think there's really going to be a lot of level 1 shenanigans. You do have a really strong level 1 with Swain and Alistar, but
Yeah, there was
not
like
too much. They're
an
just gonna-
like an invade posing as a 5-stack for a second there from tops or from Bs, and then it just kind of didn't happen.
Yeah, so we're gonna be just standard starts here. Volley's gonna start on the bot side. Uda's gonna start bot side. They're both gonna path up to the top lane. And actually, I think this may be an Ornn in the mid lane, looking how they're posturing right now.
Oh.
So, okay. So actually, I kind of like this.
All right.
Actually, I don't know if I really like this. If I'm being completely honest.
I don't know how much I like Ornn into Zarek. Is
So
that
going-
decision more that Lucian feels good into Cho?
I don't know. It really becomes a matter of whose carry threat is better. Like, you have Nate, who's just
Oh, but
already
Hook My Book already
bullying
putting a lot of damage down. Trying to
Yep.
spook Nate off.
But something of note is Hook My Book actually went for the Aftershock instead of the Grasp of the Undying, so he's going to be looking to just try and stay tanky, really try and just get the CC, get his damage, walk out, not really look for, extended trades or trying to get in the face of literally Nate to try and get the auto
Wow,
attacks
he is
forward.
being really aggressive. Hook My Book putting
Oh
a lot
my
of damage on literally Nate there. Doesn't quite get there and actually has to back off in a little danger
Yeah,
there.
but
Oh, big flash comes in from Revan, though, pushing Klukashisa way into their backline. Lots of damage from Astastaria onto both of them, though. Klukashisa able to secure 1 kill for his support /AD carry. Can it become 2? It looks like yes. Klukashisa finding 1, Asta 2 Staria finding the second. Bees are us returning a kill against the JLP. Christ on high, it isn't even 3 minutes yet.
All right, exclamation mark Fiestas in the chat. So
we are
we
averaging
see-
more than 1 kill a minute.
yeah, we see a really good all-in from the bot side.
Ooh, really bold from Bees Are Us.
Max getting a little bit aggressive there. You got to remember you're playing against a Lucian who is going to outdamage you at basically all parts of the game. You don't have the
Directed
items.
camera
yet, so
showing
you're
us
not
that,
very
even though
tanky.
this is more important. Okay, there we go. Orion probably gets away. Oh, the flash stun from Slaga Slasha. Not quite enough to kill Orion, but can Bees Are Us get the damage out there on JLP? There is
Oh,
another
he's
stun, but
trying.
it's just not quite enough. No one gonna take the
Ow.
kill there. But a couple flashes, a couple summoners blown, so can't complain too much about that.
Maxi, you gotta respect the enemy top laner when he does a lot of damage and has ignite.
Yeah, right. Yeah, an AD carry with Ignite in the top lane, you can't play that like a normal top lane.
Absolutely not. But already some really good trades coming out from Luke Scheiser and Asta Staria. So it's really good here, especially with the Glacial Augment Senna. A lot of times back when you would play, or back before it was garbage, and only used on like 2 champions. Glacial Augment Nico was
Mm,
really good because you were able to get her auto attacks to slow you down, so that her skill shot abilities were a lot easier for her to hit.
yeah, I
But
remember
this
when it was
time
like
you,
actually busted.
oh, absolutely. But you have a Senna to do that from a long range for you.
Oh,
So
looks like
you
we have a
just,
lane gank coming in from Slaga Slasha going through the alcove. Or just hiding out. He's just hiding out. Now taking the alcove,
oh,
probably
the
hoping
channel
to
on
get an
the Hex
E.
Splash.
Oh, but Orion is here. It's just going to be a 3v3, and I think in this 3v3, things go slightly in favor of Doms. Lots of
Oh, I
damage coming
agree.
out. The heal has to come out from whoever has heal down there. I don't know who's able to heal. in that
Actually,
bottom.
nobody had heal. That was the Alistar passive. It looks like.
Yeah, I think
'Cause the
Alistar,
only
and then part of that was probably either a smite or W from Slaga.
yeah,
Because Udyr got some health back. I'm guessing it was just a W.
it might have been I'm assuming it was the Alistar passive, but really
knows?
heavy trading coming out from the bot side here. Obviously, I said at Champ Select, both teams are probably looking to be a lot very bot focused. So obviously they have the same idea, which is really good. Hook my book taking a little bit of damage. Looking for a bit more poke onto Symphonia John. But yeah, so right now you have you got good vision coming out. Ruyan about to walk over a ward, but looks like
It
my
happens
book
to the
actually
best of
going
us.
in
A
on
big
Nate.
stun on Hook My Book. Not quite enough damage from Nate, but he does have the ultimate. Hits one, misses the second. Oh, the return ultimate and the flash from Hook My Book gets him with the
Oh, but
auto, but goes down to the turret
Oh, I thought
response.
the level
BZRS
was
starting a
actually gonna
big
save him.
fight in the top lane, taking some turret damage under his ultimate. Doesn't quite secure the kill.
Oh, Max, you gotta be respectful of the level 6 Lucian when he has Ignite.
When you're level 5.
When you're level 5, my dude. Trust me, your life is gonna suck in this lane. But when you hit 3, 4 items and you are just
Oh, huge
unkillable.
Q on a Slaga, though. This could be big for Max, and he does have the ultimate. Hasn't used it yet. Opts not
No, he
to,
did.
though.
I
Oh, he
think
did
he
use
used it on a he used it on a minion.
Used it on a minion.
I think.
Yep. I was like, what? He didn't use it in that fight. He didn't have it yet, but used it on a minion.
Yep.
Classic.
Which,
Doesn't
honestly,
need it, though. Orion finds the
Not a
kill.
bad option. That was a really good rupture. Province 21 represent.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I think
helps to even out the deficit that he's in right now, which is really good for him. Also putting Orion in a really
huge
good
stun
spot.
onto Bees R Us, but we're not going to see what happens because Directed Camera is more concerned about the fight in the mid lane. Hook My Book and literally Nate just trading blows like crazy. Literally Nate realizing this might not be his fight, backing up a little bit, but you know it's just pokey. It's just all pokey.
Yeah, and actually, Hook My Book is actually up in CS right now, and I really like his itemization. He has the really early Mercury Treads, so getting hit by
Smart.
the slows, getting hit by the stunts is not nearly as
Ooh, Slaga only
impactful.
level 5, looking for a gank, but with Orion level 6 and coming to answer it, this could be really dangerous for Slaga Slasha. He does get out with that move speed, but the ultimate from Orion secures a kill onto Hook My Book. And, I mean, you know, I feel like we were talking about earlier the name of the game being pushing an advantage in the lane phase for bees, but I don't know that Doms is letting them do that right now.
Absolutely not. They are doing a really good job at playing towards the early pressure of the Volibear. So he had the one gank top. He has already made a gank mid. They got a kill in both the ganks. So right now, Ruyan just putting out a lot of pressure with what you really need to do. And now Red Team's starting up the Dragon. Actually, they already started it up, and they're gonna get that for free.
And that's something Orion is just really good at. Like he's so good at making a gank happen right at the right time to turn it into an objective.
And you see it cross map now coming out. So
Ooh, does BZRS have
Max.
the damage to get there? Yes, that
Yes, he
ignite
does.
once again.
And just gonna hard push the wave, use the culling. and probably crash that next wave, deny as much possible farm for the real JLP, and get the probably a tower plate off of that as well. So lots of gold being funneled into this Lucian. You got to be really careful. But the it is the oh my god, plated steel caps. That's what it's called.
Yeah, they
now
changed the name.
picked up for,
It's tabbies. Everybody knows it's
Yeah.
tabbies.
I try to keep.
Oh, Revan coming for the Rome at the same time as the
man,
Rome
the
from
collapse.
Slaga. Big gank, big Rome. Very nice secured
was-
kill, and
That was very
potentially
good.
2 plates here.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm thinking they're going to
yeah.
burst this
I
down
didn't know
and then
Hook My
drop-
Book took Demolish.
Yep. For most tanks, it's pretty standard, I would say.
Yeah,
Um,
I kind of only play tank supports, and
yeah, I mean,
we have better things to do.
yeah, for most tank supports, you're going to be looking at Font of Life,
Yeah,
and depending on who you're playing, obviously, if you have somebody like a Scion, you may want to opt into like a Shield Bash, or if you're a Shen, maybe you go Shield Bash because obviously you're going to have a shield up every so often. But Ornn only gets the shield when he charges in, so
yeah. So not super efficient for him. That makes sense.
yeah. So getting something like the Demolish, so if you just have, you do a lot of damage as Ornn if you are able to get the Brittle procs. So if you're able to
Wow.
get a good kill, you can get some good tower damage. And I'm actually a little surprised that they didn't try to push that a little bit harder and try to drop the Rift Herald.
Yeah. Just a minute ago. Oh, Klugescheisse looking for the ultimate, gets booped back.
Such a
Very
good
clean play
headbutt.
from Revan.
Such a good headbutt.
No, I think like a minute ago, they were super even, and now there's like a pretty clear gold advantage because Lucian has gotten that kill and a bunch of gold, but Urian thinks he can make up for it. That ultimate does shut down the turret. Turret comes back just in time to get one hit on him. Meanwhile, another fight breaks down bottom. Slaga finding one on Klugescheisse. The Shelly does find a charge. Not able to find a second kill, though, and end up trading 1-for-1 in the bot lane. Ultimately, that fight pretty far in favor of Doms.
Absolutely. I mean, that was some really good awareness coming out from Literally Nate. Teleporting onto the tower. The tower only loses 2 plates from the Rift Herald, so a little bit of questionable use because look at the amount of damage that's on this mid lane tower. You can get mid lane tower with just a little bit of pressure and the Rift Herald.
Yeah, I
So-
mean, that like half a thousand, or I guess 500, that 500 gold advantage has immediately swung the other direction. It's huge.
Yeah, you get, I believe Rift Herald takes 2.5 tower plates in true damage, so it's a lot more valuable to use it on a lower health tower because the lower plates they have, the tankier the towers are,
Oh, and that doesn't apply to Shelly?
and
That's
that doesn't
interesting. I
apply
didn't know
because
that.
it's true damage to towers.
Interesting.
So it's better for you, especially since it's the mid lane tower, because
'Cause-
once you get the mid lane tower, it will open up.
Ooh, Revan
the
going for another
rest of the
roam.
map.
Slog is there. Hook My Book standing back and just launching the ultimate because he's got it. Ryan looking to make something out of it. Symphonia John is able to find the kill, but the turret takes down Hook My Book for Orion. Asta2 Staria in a little bit of danger potentially here, but Revan not going in for it.
And that was
Deer
actually such a-
pigging, help me, help me, help me, help me. And meanwhile,
And-
Klugescheisse is about to get another plate.
That was a
bot.
really good collapse, and it just makes me wonder why they didn't save the Rift Herald because they got a really good kill. They had their bot lane roamed up, and they had yes, they lost Hook My Book, but now you have a Swain pushing mid. You could have had this Swain with first tower's worth of gold.
Yeah. Okay, there's a
So-
lot of Province 21 love in the chat, which is very wholesome and sweet. But can we get some Province 2 in there? Any other Province 2 hanging out?
We love Province 21.
Where's
Shout out.
Where's P21? I'm very bad at the map.
That is, I believe it's central and eastern Pennsylvania.
Oh, word. Oh, Bees R Us taking a lot of damage. Oh, and the ultimate just barely doesn't make lethal damage, but the auto attack afterwards will finish it up. A shutdown for JLP.
honestly, let's go, Max. I let's go.
A Guy Fieri P2.
I will flame you because you died in lane, but you solo killed the Lucian as Cho'Gath. So I will give credit where credit is due. Well played, my friend.
Yeah. JLP getting a ton of damage on this tower. Kind of frustrating. It's after plating goes down. You know, he doesn't get that extra gold and such, but
Yep.
still
I
a
mean,
lot of good pressure.
yep. And first tower is still on the table. So chances are he'll look to push this as best he can. So maybe they can hopefully get the top tower off the 2nd Rift Herald.
Lots of
but right
posturing
now,
going down around
yep.
Dragon as well.
Posturing for the dragon right now. If I am the side of Doms, well, now that I see how chunked out Symphonia John is, I am definitely fighting for this.
Oh, for sure. You know Lucian is top. Symphonia John, you know, has to either back or, like, play the very back line of the fight.
Yeah.
Like,
not only
yeah,
do you know
you've
he's
got
top,
a 4v3.
you know he is top with no TP. So
Yeah. No, this is a fight you like 10 out of 10 times if you're Doms.
yeah.
I think Bees
Especially
Are Us.
since-
Honestly, I think Bees Are Us is probably just saying, "Hey guys, I can probably get first turret here and get that first tower gold, so let them
Yeah.
have dragon." But Dom's
so-
not going for dragon.
So my thought originally was, if I am the side of Doms, I send Urion and Nate top lane, and go for another kill on BSRS, and then use the damage that JLP put on the tower earlier, so that they can trade first tower for this one single dragon, because this one ocean drag isn't going to do too much in the grand scheme of things.
Ooh, Saga Slasha looking for a fight with JLP. BZRS is there to help, but a lot of damage before he gets there. Can JLP survive this now that it's a 2v1? Big heals from the Senna ultimate are going to help, but it's just not quite enough. Oh, unless he gets the ultimate on Slaga. The outplays.
And honestly,
2v1
that's so
and he
worth.
takes one down with him.
That's so worth. They get the dragon for free. He stops the Rift Herald. He may still lose that top tower, which is a little bit unfortunate because you're putting that kill gold and the first tower gold onto Lucian. But you know, it's
Yeah.
honestly, it's not the worst thing, especially with such a good comp to negate the Lucian. But
Ooh,
Look
could
for
be
the
a
damage
huge
coming
ultimate
in.
from Klugescheiss. It doesn't do very much damage, but enough to get him there. Revan getting pretty low. Does headbutt Klugescheiss, but he's still got to deal with Ostastaria and Urian. That's going to be enough to kill him. Urian now 4-0-1.
yeah, and it's actually so insane that looking at the score line, 9-13, you wouldn't think that this is still pretty even. It's only about a little less than 1,000 gold.
Yeah.
Now, of course, as soon as I say that, it's going to balloon to
Yeah,
more
that
than
turret helps
1,000
a lot.
with that tower gold. But right now you have a decent amount of standing gold on the side of Doms because that top lane tower is really hurt. Mid lane tower is a little bit untouched on the blue side, so pretty healthy. They can't really go in and get that, but I think it also helps that their bot lane has gotten a decent lead, so they can now start to look to open up the map and start rotating them probably to the mid lane, send JLP bot lane, or Nate to the bot lane. Either one is honestly fine, and then you can fight the team, or you can fight blue side for the Rift Herald.
My book trying to
Yeah,
take a fight with
mid lane.
Orion, not able to. Those JLP shows up, gets the silence, forces the flash out of Hook My Book. Oh, but Revan is here along with Slaga and B, so he goes for the ultimate, able to knock up Orion. Can they get the shutdown? Yes! Slaga Slasha able to get the shutdown on Orion. I'm not totally sure how, since he was very far away, and Udyr only does melee damage. But, you know, good for him.
Yeah, I mean,
And it
really
wasn't Smite,
good.
because the Smite didn't go on cooldown.
Yeah, that was a really good counter engage coming out from the side of Bees Are Us. The Bees Knees. Bees themselves.
Bees and friends.
Bees aggressive. Bees aggressive.
Klugescheiss said trying to look for something on that Herald. Doesn't quite get there, though. Herald's going to go into the pocket of Udyr.
Yep, and that's kind of where you want it. You could also argue putting it onto Lucian, because he is currently. Let's look at the gold. He is currently at 7,000 gold, so he has the most gold in the game.
Udyr has burn
by
damage. I'm an idiot.
Oh yeah, probably the tiger
Yeah.
damage over time.
Hey, what's the hotkey to make the scoreboard show everybody's gold? I
You
never
hit
remember
X.
it. X. Nice. Now talk about gold, and everyone can see what you're talking about.
Yes. So you hit the highest gold in the game, currently sitting on BSRS. Next in line after him is actually the Udyr. Nobody yet on the side of Dom's reaching that 7,000 gold lead or 7,000 gold yet. But mid lane tower is going to fall. And now we have 1,000 gold lead inside of blue side with those 2 towers being taken down. So really good use of this Rift Herald. You could have used the first Rift Herald on that, but I'm not going to flame too hard about it.
Yeah, you're only supposed
you
to
got
flame
the tower
Max.
at some point.
Only flame Max.
Yeah, you're right. Max, how dare you? How dare you let them get the Rift Herald?
Max, this is probably your fault.
You have 1,000 damage smite. How did you let them get both Rift Heralds? Come on.
No, it's 900 now.
Well, he has Chomp.
Oh, duh, Max is the Cho'Gath, sorry. I was like, yeah, Smite Max is out at 100 or 900.
Yeah.
Get it, jungle changes.
Well, it wouldn't be Riot Games without constant jungle changes, let's be honest here.
Yeah, it makes it super fun to be a jungler, I gotta tell you.
Yep.
It's like, man, this role is really cool, and conceptually, I think jungle is probably the coolest role in the game, like, conceptually. But the fact that every 2 months I have to just, like, pray that
relearn the game.
my heroes are still relevant is pretty frustrating.
Yep, but we have some good vision coming out. JLP is standing on a ward. Remember to be playing like everything is warded.
Just assume everything's warded. And a lot of posturing around this dragon. Kind of interesting considering it's not soul point for anybody, but there's kind of nothing else to posture around. So.
Well, there's that, but you also have to keep in mind it may not be soul point, but if red team gets it, it is soul point.
Ooh, and the engage starts out with Klugescheisse finding a huge kill before the ultimate. Ultimate helps to get 2 more. Now, BSRS was able to find 1 with his ult, but not quite enough to push that fight in their favor. Now it's Slaga and Bees hoping that they can get something to make up for a 3-1 fight. And firmly in favor of Doms. Before that, a lot of damage going on Klugescheisse, though.
This is really risky because Udyr has Flash, has Smite, and you don't have the Feast from the
Slaga
Cho'Gath, but he's
quite
going a
find
little
it. Nate
early.
takes him out. And despite JLP not having the ultimate, they're just not going to need it. This dragon is going to reset, but then die. Dragon was just like, man, I'm over you guys. I'm going home.
He said, oh, no junglers? All right, I'm about to head out. So, really good fight there from the side of Doms. And actually...
But even after all that, it's only a 700 gold lead.
I was actually about to say, this gold lead, it's all the towers.
Yeah.
Those 2 tower, the tower mid, the tower bot,
and
the
farm
amount of gold that they got just
credit to farm. My boy farm. Ooh, I like Revan taking the support 1v1 against someone who's not actually a support.
Yeah, I was gonna say he does a little bit more damage than you do, but you may be a little tanky, but
I don't know if you're that
trying
tanky.
to run away from a glacial augment Senna.
I think he was just trying
to. He was sitting on a Kraken Slayer and a Rage
hold
Knight,
her up
so
until
doing lots of damage.
Yeah. Probably just waiting for his team to get there, but it sure looked overly aggressive.
Oh yeah.
Oh, maybe a fight breaking out mid. Probably just some poke, though. I don't think Hook My Book is gonna try and take this. The rest of B's deciding they're gonna fight for this tier 1, though. Hook My Book goes in for the knock-up. Gets 3, but it doesn't really turn into...
Yeah, right now you don't really have any of your damage.
Oh, Revan going so low, just barely gets out, trying to evade literally Nate's ultimate, but not able to do it. The root goes down onto Hook My Book. He does flash out to survive, but takes a lot of damage in the meantime. Ryan and BZRS fighting one another in the jungle. BZRS just barely getting out with that blast cone. Hook My Book and Slaga trying to follow up on it, but putting the tower in danger in the process. These are us throwing out the ultimate to try and zone them off a bit, but this fight just a little messy. Doesn't feel like either team has a really strong sense of how they want to fight this, and Slag is about to pay for it, getting stunned out in the jungle. Does get a big heal there, able to get himself out with that Udyr move speed. But Doms might be able to push this Baron now.
Yeah,
I don't know if
and
they
you do
will,
have,
but they could try.
it is definitely
Symphonia
an option,
John
especially
gets
now
caught
that Symphonia
out.
John
Oh, he gets
really
under turret,
shrunk.
though. Whew.
But it is an option. Now that she's on 1.5 items, Senna does a lot of damage. And you do have Feast and Smite up now, but I think going for the mid tower is a lot more of a, easier, a lot less risky of a play. So props to them for showing a little bit of restraint. So
Yeah, I just saw the Fiesta copy pasta for the first time. That's hysterical. That's so funny.
The Fiesta copy pasta.
Trying to figure out how to explain a word to my students. That's so good. Oh, that's so funny.
All right. So looking at item spikes here, we have the Muramana, or the Manamune, and the Kraken Slayer finished for BZRS, so he's sitting on a good bit of damage. I like the Merc Treads from him because, like I said, you have a lot of CC coming out, and if you're the real big DPS, you want to keep yourself alive as much as you possibly can.
They all seem to agree 3 Merc Treads on the side of bees.
Oh, absolutely. You could even argue going Merc Treads on the other two, but looking...
Oh, big fight breaks
really
out in the mid lane. Ostitu Staria getting melted right at the beginning there. Nothing else going to happen as everybody else from Doms escapes, but that one pick helping to push that gold lead a little bit.
Yeah. Just overextended just a little bit.
How many Cho stacks? That is a great question, my friend. It looks like Cho'Gath is
right now
at...
we have 8 Cho'Gath stacks, and Ostisu Staria, he is dead, so I can't check the Senna stacks, but when he revives in 7 seconds, I will check that.
Oh, JLP surviving for quite a while, but not able to get there. Klugescheiße just doesn't have the damage yet to clean that up. And another pick from B is going to push that gold lead almost to even.
So, what you doing there, Max?
Hey, Mac.
You
Honestly,
saw them.
I think Max probably thought Nico did more damage than that.
That's fair. But so we actually checking, it is 79 stacks on the Senna currently at 27 minutes. So
also, everyone's very upset that I had the camera on Cho when Xerath died. So everyone blame Eric. Eric griefing the stream. Symphonia John dies in this fight. Or sorry, Symphonia John takes out Klugescheiße. Orion following up soon after. And now a 2k gold lead in favor of Bees, who moments ago was down 1k.
Yeah, that's just the power of picks, especially in this kind of team comp where you have the go button of the Ornn ult, you have really good displacement with the oh, that was really, really close.
It was speedy, though. Aw.
Yeah.
Karut says he doesn't blame me. Thanks, Karut. Appreciate it.
Honestly, in this scenario, you're still pretty okay if you are the side of Doms. You're still sitting at soul point, so if you get one more, that's all you need. You just get one pick before the dragon spawns, where then I'd say you try and force a fight maybe 30 or so seconds before the dragon spawns, try and catch somebody in rotation. Right now, of course, you have to play a little bit slower. You have to just sort of turtle and wait for the Baron buff to fall off. But right now, they're not really pushing too hard with it. They're just sort of clearing their jungle camps and collecting waves in the side lanes. But
I think that's the right thing to do. Just be smart and kind of turtley. Get as much gold on your side as you can without risking anything.
Yep. It's the best way to play it. And right now, I think Bees are playing a little bit too respectfully. They have, since you have such a insane pushing power with the Baron buff and making the minions a lot tankier, especially versus I think they get tankier against mages as well. So the triple AP from the red side is going to not be as effective at clearing these waves. Um, but actually, now that I'm looking at the state of the waves,
Yeah, everything is shoved in.
everything's
Klugascheisse
crashing at the
hoping
same
this
time.
ultimate is enough. Symphonia John with that nicely timed Zonias, which might be a stopwatch. Yeah, it was a stopwatch. Oh, and that's enough for Symphonia John to secure the kill. Orion has to use the ultimate, just barely misses it. Symphonia John might actually get away here. Oh, Orion getting a little cheeky with the dance before the speed, but knows he can still catch it. Does catch Symphonia John out. That's a 300 gold shutdown, which is nice.
You gotta be careful here because what are you
JLP
losing on
getting
the map for
knocked
that?
up. That could be huge. Is that knock up enough? No, JLP does live. Ornalt gets him up again, though, and that's going to secure it. Another kill from
But that was
Hook
a
My Book.
really good knock up under tower. Hook my book.
That was really nice.
Dropping?
It was really, really nice. Oh, thank you, Maye, for the tier 1 sub. 32 months of Maye subbing to this stream. You love to see it.
Yep, we love Maye.
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 I'm not saying that I took a drink every time they said Maye in Blue Otter finals, but I am saying that I went through like 2 glasses of scotch. Oh, Guy Fieri saying Maye ain't shit with 41 month subscription. Thank you, Eric. Representing P2 for 41 months. You love to see it.
Yeah, it's just who could flex harder, and I think I'm at here with my like maybe 15 months subbed. I think I don't know.
Dang. Yeah, I need to check where I'm at.
I've been here a decent amount, I think.
Yeah, I've been around a while. I took a little break in the middle there, but I've been around a while. I will say I desperately appreciate, well, we have a little lull in the action. Remember that your subscriptions do help the Sinfonia Educational Fund provide scholarships for Sinfonians like myself. I was able to afford my last year of school because of the Sinfonian Education Foundation. So thanks, Maye and Guy Fieri, for paying for my college. By watching video games.
Pay for my college. But yep, right now you have a little bit of a lull in the action. Oh man.
Oh, Nate says, lulls not for me. Gets a kill on Symphonia John with that ultimate. And great timing.
Would you look at that? It's exactly what I said they needed.
Yep.
They got the pick, and not only did they get the pick, I believe that was also a shutdown.
Oh, and Slaga's trying to turn it into a fight, even though it's a 4v5. A lot of damage goes on Orion. Might actually be enough. Slaga's still pretty healthy. Klugascheisse going down first to BZRS. JLP going pretty low here, not putting out the damage he needs to. The double kill going on to BZRS. Can BZRS turn this into a quadra to post on the page? Orion's trying to help by jumping in there. BZRS gets the triple. Can he make it a quadra? Is he even going to go for it, or is he just going to be a brat about it? No, he does go for it. Oh, he rolls over the wall. Lots of damage from Nate, but does he confirm it? He confirms it. He gets the quadra. He sacrifices his life for it, but he gets the quadra.
Oh.
Wow.
I caster cursed that so hard.
They did exactly what they had to do. I don't understand. That was wild. Slaga took a 4v5 engage, and they just won it. Like,
so
they were just like, hey, let's take this bad fight and just play it better.
Yeah, so here's the issue that I had with that fight. You get a little bit impatient, and it causes a lot of problems.
Yeah.
So, in that fight, Klug got a little over-aggressive, tried to go for the back line, could not get to BZRS. BZRS with some really good positioning behind the front line of Hook My Book and Slaga Slasha and Revan, and just staying safe and doing a lot of damage with his, he's got 3 items at this point, one of which, of course, now doing true damage, and now is also hit with the Ornn upgrade as well. So all that farm and all that damage that he's been putting out all game is really starting to add up because he's playing a really good front-to-back team fight. But really, Doms is looking for the counter engage. They're looking for, you want the enemy to get impatient so that you guys can hit the CC when they're running at you.
Hook My Book looking for an engage, but doesn't really have his team there, and everybody from Doms is there. Slaga thinking about helping out, and then maybe saying no. Nope, Slogga's gonna go for it. He does get in there, get some damage out, realizes it's probably not the best fight, starts to run away. Luckily, he's got that chem tank to help out. Gonna get out nice and speedy. Oh, but the re-engage comes in from Revan onto JLP, and the ultimate comes out from BZRS. Isn't going to be enough, puts a lot of damage onto literally Nate. Not quite enough to secure a kill, though.
Oh, but Revan's looking.
Revan getting pretty deep, though. Orion wants to find it, but I think they're just going to trade some blows here. I don't see them going for a real hard engage just yet.
Yeah, he doesn't have the flash, so he can't really go for the big dick flash headbutt pulverize onto 4 people.
Yeah.
But
yeah, and T-Tone's making a really good point in chat that Udyr just sort of ran at Nate, and I did like Slogga's approach there of like, you know, I don't have any way to flash or jump or dash or like any mobility to get myself into the back line, but I can just use my feet. Like I can just run into the back line.
Yeah, he has the upgraded chem tank. He has the force of nature. He has the dead man's plate, so he has a lot of movement speed. And of course, once he pops the chem tank, he uses the blue smite to steal some of the movement speed. He's going to be doing a lot of running.
Yeah, no, he's speedy.
If he has a good dodge, if he has been practicing on the dodgeball court, he can certainly get around these straight line CC abilities that are going to be.
Slogga has unlocked the 5th form Udyr, Hedgehog form.
Exactly. So
yes, Greg, this is game 1. I will make sure to put like a 1-0 next to the team names next game. But right now, just
big
0-0. Ooh, big engage coming. Revan gets the double headbutt, able to get 2. Is it going to be enough? Symphonia John finds the first kill. Real JLP going down next. Bizarre Us finding Ostastaria next, going down to Slogga. That's going to be 3 very quick, very clean kills, and probably an inhib, possibly 1 inner turret here. I mean, they've got the wave.
Honestly, if you're the blue team, I think you play this a little bit safer. You get the inhib, and then you just run back to the Baron.
Ooh, but they're opting to run bot. Oh, because that bot turret's very low, so they get that bot inhib too, probably. Okay. That's very
fine,
smart. Oh, Hook My Book opting to stand next to the turret and make an item. Is that BM? I mean, are we calling that BM?
He's Ornn. He's able to get away with it. But you do have the Infernal Drake being pinged, going in about a minute. This is a really good spot for Bee's Knees because they have a now 6,000 gold advantage. Is that right? No, they have a 5,000 gold advantage. I can't do math.
Math is so hard. That's why I never got a math degree.
Yeah, I'm a musician. I count 4
to like
2
8.
and 3, 6.
Well, to be fair, I'm a bass player, so I have to count to like 130 sometimes. But
see, I'm a vocalist, so that means I don't count.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah, y'all are bad at that.
So, anyway, they have a gold lead, and they're being
everyone's fighting in the chat.
They're being forced to fight over every dragon ever since they were given the soul point, and they've gotten every single dragon since Red team got soul point. Well, and now that you have such a big lead, it's hard for them to even fight for the dragon. And now is a really good time for them to play for the waves. You have a super minion wave pushing mid and bot. You have no real reason to force the fight.
JLP finds a knockup, but doesn't get much. It's just the damage isn't there. Klugescheiße looks for the ultimate, but ultimately doesn't find anyone inside of it. JLP going very low, goes down to BZRS. Then the ultimate comes out, finds some damage, but not quite enough. Klugescheiße able to find Slogga, which could be big for this, and with Nate's ultimate coming down, it's not going to find anyone, but it does force BZRS to back up. Now it's Hook My Book and Revan 2v3. Is this going to be enough for them to make something happen? Not if Bees can melt the Drake in the process. Very well played.
Now you have super minions crashing into the base. You have double super minions in the bot lane. There is no reason for you to not just go for this Baron right now. you don't have your jungler, but neither does the side of Doms.
Yeah, and that was
So
so smart from Bees R Us, man. That was so smart.
yeah, he's been popping off this game. I'm not gonna lie. Uh, I think now you have a little bit more information, so I think this time you go a little bit more heavy onto the bans for Bees or Us, if in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, and like you said
Obviously,
during Champ Select, like, dude's good enough at Lucian, you can just get it for him and he'll pick his lane later. Like,
yeah. So they had, well, obviously now thinking into game 2, you'll have the red side, or you'll have the blue side for the side of Doms. So you can get
oh
rid
my
of
God.
the, you can get rid of the Lucian, you can get rid of the Sejuani, you can get rid of any other more problematic picks that you think are going to come out for the side of bees. And then you also have the ability to take the Senna, because I know Symphonia John also plays a decent amount of Senna. He pulled it out yesterday, and it was really good. So
when the Baron does start for Bees R Us, they do take it pretty quickly, but the entire team is there to contest it. Dom's immediately throwing out the ultimate from literally Nate. Not gonna be able to find anybody, but does push them off. Ultimate comes down from Bees R Us, basically getting nobody, so they might want to engage off of this. The headbutt pushes Orion back. Revan going pretty low. Hook My Book gets right into the middle of the action, putting tons of damage down. Klugescheisse with the ultimate under stopwatch, but it's just not enough. 2 more kills come down from Bees R Us, and another fight goes in favor of Bees, 3-2.
yeah, that looked so good for bees.
Until it did. Oh my God. Bees R Us just melting this man. Able to take out literally Nate as well. And Symphonia John just in the base ending the game. Oh no.
Yep. Yep, and that is GG's coming out in the chat. I don't see why there's nobody alive. That's last hits on the Nexus, and that's going to be game 1 going over to the side of Bees Knees.
That is gonna be a game 1. Heck yeah, heck yeah. What a fun game.
Oh my God.
Dude, chat's been nuts. I don't know if you've been watching chat, but
I have not, and now I'm scrolling back through chat to see
I
everything.
liked the part where they got in a fight and kept making and then deleting a exclamation Gurg.
Oh my God. I love this. I love this.
I wanna create an exclamation Keegan command in PMA LCS that just randomly generates a bad opinion about League. Like a well-meaning but under-informed opinion. That'd be like the perfect command for me.
Alright, so game 1 is now in the books. Of course, Bees took game 1, so we have to decide on an MVP. I'm getting the straw poll made right now. I already know who I'm voting for, so tell me, what's your thoughts?
For I feel like Bees is a fairly... Greg, no! Greg made an exclamation Keegan that just says, "Sorry guys, I'm casting Owl tonight." Which, like, is fair.
That's amazing.
Speaking of which, when am I casting Owl this week? I should check the Discord.
Man, that's good.
Schedule for this week. Ooh, my team is playing Thursday, and I'm casting Tuesday.
When?
What? Oh, I'm casting on Tuesday.
No, when did I ask?
Oh, uh-huh. Chat asked actually.
Got him. Anyway,
Commissioner Fire Greg.
so
That's hilarious.
straw poll is in the chat. Vote for your game one MVP. Who do you give your game one MVP to?
I feel like Bees feels like the obvious like he just kind of popped off, but I do kind of like the energy of giving it to Slaga for the number of times he clearly just made a decision for the team that went very well. Like he could kind of tell the team was like, "Hey, let's not take too hard of an engage here," and Slaga was like, "No," and then they won the fight. Like,
Yeah, I just imagine Team Comps being like, "Hey guys, I don't know if we should fight here," and Slaga just sort of said, "How about I do anyway?"
Slaga being like, "Too late, I already punched the back line. So follow up, please."
So
If you
I think
guys
you can make.
could help, that would be super cool.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna also. I think I'm gonna vote for BZRS. BZRS just overall, just sort of manhandled the lane. Partially because Max is bad, but no, I love you, Max. But yeah, he just played super well, maintained a lot of
Didn't say no
pressure.
more.
He also positioned super well in all of the fights and really just played those front to back team fights super well. And there are so many times where Klug would commit the ultimate and the flash to try and really lock down the backline, but he always had a good sense of where he needed to be so that he didn't get caught by that. Like that last team fight up by the Baron pit, you saw 4 people get hit by the Klug ult, but there's only one person who didn't get hit by it, and it's the person who's putting out all the damage. So I gotta give it to BZRS. He just did a lot of work this game. That's just my thoughts. Obviously, it seems like some people disagree with me. Slaga Slash are currently leading in the polls for votes on him. So we'll give it a little bit, and then we'll see.
That's fair. You do, as they say, love to see it.
Yeah. Symphonia John adding himself in the chat saying that the last fight he pulled Klug in when he was ulting and was the reason why he got that 4-man ult stun. It's okay.
Fair enough.
It is perfectly okay.
Also, Bees, I don't know if you're watching right now, but I really appreciate you trying so hard for the quad. Sacrificing your life for the meme meant a lot to me.
Oh, and a shout out to Ruru Russo for, or probably Roro Russo, whatever your name is. I appreciate you. Thank you for the prime.
Hey, thank you for the prime. Thank you for supporting the Euphonian Education Foundation or fund or whatever it is. The SEF. It pays for people to go to college, and we appreciate that.
Thank you for supporting your fellow brothers. Unless you're not a brother.
Unless you're not a brother, then
thank you for supporting us.
Just thanks for being cool, I guess. That's what's up.
Thank you for being a friend. Yeah.
Spicy.
So already we have the channel points being bet. Tambourine King is all in with all of his channel points. But honestly, I think going into game 2.
Oh, Elliot's like your actual brother. Oh, that's why it's Rousseau. That makes a lot of sense. Yo, Elliot's the 4th Wizard of Waverly Place? Dude, that's so spicy.
That's amazing. 4th Wizard of Waverly Place.
That's hilarious.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's actually really funny.
Going into game 2, I would like to see a little bit more top focus as far as bands go. Obviously,
all right.
BZRS showing that he has the ability to carry a game on the Lucian.
Looks like
but
we're getting
I think
into
you can
it.
also.
I need to do that.
I think you can also make a case for getting rid of the what's the word? Udyr as well. Um, so something actually I wouldn't mind seeing. Yep, there's actually the ban for the Udyr coming out in favor of Dom's taking that away from Sluggislasha. And I assume it's going to be a Lucian ban next, but it's actually the Tristana being taken away. So maybe Dom's is going to look to try and get this
What is
Lucian
happening?
for Nate.
Oh, it's casting the wrong. There we go. It was casting the wrong Chrome tab, so it's fixed now.
Okay.
You got that Sejuani first pick.
Mordekaiser, Udyr, Tristana, all taken off the table. Swain actually banned 4 Bs, so they don't want to give that away.
Spicy.
Which is an interesting pick because I don't know who all on the side of Doms would play that. Possibly Nate,
Hype Train. Jasmine Dragon with the Prime subscription started a Hype Train.
Oh, absolutely.
You love to see
represent it. Province 21 right there, baby.
AP21, baby.
So, yeah, Anivia, Tarek both taken off the table. Volibear locked in for Bs. I'm assuming that's going to be for Sluggislasha. Alistar picked up again for Revan. If it's not broke, don't fix it. And I mean, that cow kind of broke, but it's not going to get fixed. So here I think they probably take their top lane pick. JLP usually, like we saw in the last game and just about every other game this split, playing weak side.
Excuse me.
So I think there's nothing really to hide. You sort of pick something safe. You can save your counter picks for the second half. So Thresh going to be locked in. Probably it might actually just be an 80 carry lock in here. We'll see if they want to run back the Nico or if they decide to pick an actual 80 carry, and it's going to be Kaisa locked in for Klugscheißer. So you have Alistar Volibear, probably going to be looking for decent amount of damage, I would assume. So you go for something like the Varus. Varus would be really good. Sivir is also on the table. I think Sivir is also really good, especially with the Alistar Volibear. And Samira is actually going to be locked in.
Ooh.
So
not entirely shocking
for Symphonia John. I'm assuming, unless they decide that they want to flip flop and Symphonia John plays the Alistar and Revan plays Samira, but I'm assuming it's going to be Symphonia John playing the Samira. Talon once again taking off the table. The Lucian ban in the second round, very good adaptation from Doms, and then it's actually the Xerath taken away from the side of Bees. So they're leaving the Corki up for Nate, so this is an option for them to go this sort of double 80 carry, and it's actually Vigar also taken away. So taking that away from Hook My Book, he is a good Vigar player. He is also a good Vladimir player, so it's a possibility that we see the Vladimir coming out. And then you just put Hook My Book. Yep, there's the Vladimir, and you save the top lane counter pick for Bizarrus, which is also really good. You can put him on something weak side, like he's been known to play Scion. It's also possible that he takes the Volibear. So, or you could put him on something like the Rumble, which is still available, which was banned last game. But Silas being hovered here for literally Nate, it makes a lot of sense. Volibear ult is just a big button that lets you access the backline. Alistar, of course, giving you a lot of tankiness from the active. Also works as a good cleanse because Silas is not too great if you get chain CC'd, and you just have a lot of really good ultimate, to be completely fair. And the Alawi is going to be the final lock-in for the side of Doms, going in favor of real JLP. And I haven't actually seen him play Alawi in quite some time, so this will be very interesting, and it looks like it will be the Scion pick. So I really like the draft from both sides, to be completely honest. Both
Yeah.
sides have a very clear go button. You
Yeah.
have the Scion ult, you have the Sejuani ult, you have Thresh hooks, you have a lot of ability to start a fight, but you also have some really good um, counter engage with the amount of peel that you have from Alistar. Vladimir with just a lot of sustain. Scion, of course, you never want to. If you funnel into a Scion, that's how you get hit by a fully charged Q, and you just sort of die off of that. But, what are your thoughts? Team comp, who wins this?
Team comp alone? I kind of like Doms. Reason one, I like Doms. I'm sick of Alawi, and I feel like anyone playing Alawi is just unstoppable. I'm so tired of dealing with her right now because she bodied me earlier. Two, Mate Silas is very scary. Three, I really like the Kaisa Thresh bot lane into Samira Alistar. I think there's a lot of potential there if you play it clean. Four, Sejuani having the stun combo with Alawi ult is actually busted. And you've got Thresh. Like, the amount of like CC to hold people in the damage of Alawi ult is actually huge.
Yep, it's really good. I actually think, like, I agree with you. I think there's a lot of good things on the side of Doms, but I think overall team comp, I think I have to give it to Bees.
Spicy.
Bees R Us has shown he's a very, very consistent, very strong player.
Fair.
Even if he is playing this weak side, I don't really get a lot of ganks or jungle resources. He's still putting out a lot of pressure, putting out a lot of damage, and making a lot of plays happen. And this time he's allowed to play the front line. You also have a lot of tankiness on the side of Bees. A lot of really good front line to keep the Samira and the Vladimir alive. And Vladimir, of course, hard to kill as is with how much sustain he has built into his kit. But it's honestly, of course, it can go either way. But I think the really good late game scaling that they have on the side of Bees, plus really good early pressure from the Volley Bear, and obviously you have you saw a lot of good roams from Revan into the mid lane. So if you can get the Vladimir really snowballing and really shut down the Silas, then your chances of skyrocket.
That's fair. Hey, I'm going to humbly ask you to keep stream entertained for like 30 seconds. Well, probably a minute, while I go fill my water and use the bathroom real quick.
Okay, perfectly fine. If there's anything that I love to do, it's talk and listen to myself talk. So, yeah, as noted by Super Hoagie, the double melee solo lanes is also really good with Sejuani. Silas, of course, having the ability to dash in, get the autos out from the passive with the increased attack speed is going to make stacking up the Sejuani passive really, really easy. I hope he's saying he's putting 103k champion points. Tell us a joke. Me playing Valorant. Aha. I'm really bad at Valorant. Anyway. So, people getting locked in. Everybody's getting themselves in. It's gonna be a fun time. I'm just running out of things to say, if I'm being completely honest. Yeah. So, if I'm the side of Doms, Joe Mama times new ramen. That's a good one. So, as I was saying, if I'm the side of Doms, I would be very mid-focused this game. I think mid is going to be where a lot of the action is going to be occurring. You have to obviously Alawi is a really strong tank in the top lane, does a lot of damage, has a lot of really good sustain. Zion just very tanky boy, but you don't really have the ability to kill him unless you do so really early, which is an option. But I think you really want to get the Silas and possibly the Kaisa. What's the word? Accelerated. That's the word. Accelerated early on so that they can really take over the game. If you get Silas closer and closer to level 16, the better and easier it is for him to carry the game. And Nate, obviously, no slouch, plays a really good Silas. Obviously, not to take any credit away from my book. I've seen his Vladimir. It was pretty good. He popped off pretty hard when they played against, I think it was Blitzcranks, Fistcranks when they played. So I think he was laying against Cheeto Farts. I think that was the lame matchup where I saw the Vladimir into the Zed. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I saw, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So, yeah, that's all, folks.
Aw, dang. I forgot to fill my water. Oh well. I've got a Red Bull. What more could I need? All right. So teams are on opposite sides now, so I should probably switch that in the overlay. Doms and B. And I'm going to put a little 1 next to B's to indicate that they did a win.
They did do the win.
They did
B's
a win.
Wondered. B's wondered.
Yeah, so for anyone when it was casting like the wrong Chrome tab for a second there, I'm not admitting that I was shopping for tennis rackets, but that's certainly not what was happening.
Hey man, it is what it is. So now we're loading into game 2. Well, not loading in yet. We still have about 15 seconds of spectator delay before we get loading into game. So I'm going to call it on the MVP vote. So your game 1 MVP is going to be Slaga Slasha. Well deserved from him. So after this is all over, we can have a little interview with him. But we are now loading into the game.
Ooh, yeah, getting into the game. Oh, loading into the game.
All right, so looking at
Skinnergy.
So looking at what we got here, we have actually Glacial Augment coming out for real JLP, which is not a bad option. Having the built-in slow gives Alawi the ability to really hit her tentacles. You could go things like the Conqueror for the added sustain. You could go with Grasp of the Undying for the added sustain. It's really a matter of preference. I am a fool, and I accidentally paused at 12.
Oh,
so
no worries.
Don't mind me.
11, 12. All right. Count me in, Chief.
On go. 3, 2, 1, go.
And we are in there.
So we get time controls out of the
Oh,
way.
oh! Literally, Nate says lesbian rights. Ostatustaria says bi rights. You love to see it. JLP also with some bi rights. I forgot to change my thing. I need to get my pride flag.
Oh, that's a thing.
Yeah.
I do need to do that.
It's so hype.
So
I was playing a game of Overwatch earlier, and this dude on the other team was just like flaming a lot in all chat and kept being like, gay, you're all, F slur, like being really homophobic. And our Widowmaker He was playing Widowmaker. Oh, this is more important. Oh, the hook goes in. They are stacked in the bush. Who's going to make this? Looks like JLP might go down first, but a really clean flash. Iran does blast the flash, but it's not enough. Revan gets a kill. Revan is going to go down, but not until 2 kills have already gone down. JLP very low now. Going to be 3 kills in favor of Bees. A great start for Bees, and they want more. The flash goes in. Is it enough? The knockup does go down to Asta2 Starry. Is it going to be enough to kill him, though? Almost. One more auto gets him there. Flash from Symphonia John to clean it up, and that is 4 kills for Bees. Very clean.
Yeah, that's insane. So already you have a 300 gold shutdown.
I need to move the score.
For Symphonia John. Backing and immediately picking up 2 daggers and boots. So he is so strong right now. And
literally Nate looking for a kill though to make up for it. Doesn't quite find it.
Yeah, Hook My Book getting a little over aggressive there. That was really chunked. He did start the W or the E, so he does not have his Q to really sustain in lane at level 1. But he has the AoE wave clear and the sustain or the
God,
the
Symphonia
crowd
John's
control.
gotta feel so big right now.
Oh my god, I feel so bad for anyone who has to deal with such an already fed Samira, because playing against Samira in general is very frustrating, but playing against such a fed Samira at such an early portion of the game is I
Not to mention an 004 Scion.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, we have some dead time because I don't want to cock block the entire chat with a story. My AD switched over to Widowmaker, instantly headshot the guy, and then all chatted, "What's it like to get headshot by a lesbian?" It was amazing. He was so mad.
You love to see it.
This is the kind of gay pride that we're going for this month. Just body homophobes. Beat them at the video game.
Yeah, you keep them in the mindset of it's not good enough that I should feel good. The ones who hate me should feel bad.
Exactly.
Which, when it comes to
imagine
homophobes,
coming to lane 2 daggers and brown bags. Honestly.
Yeah. So.
Ooh,
some heavy trading.
Big knock up here from Bees R Us could be enough. Not quite. Oh, Asta2 Starry with a hook though. Lots of really good engages and poke coming out from Doms, but not quite confirming the kills.
And looking at the mid lane, you have Hook My Book with the electrocute, so he's going to be looking to trade really heavy into Nate, whereas Nate with the Conqueror going to be looking for more extended fights, extended trades to really.
When JLP did finish off the clone there in time, that could be lethal damage if he plays the rest of this fight. Not quite though. Bees R Us just too big.
Yeah, I think we can also appreciate how gorgeous that Alawi skin is. Regardless of how you feel about Alawi, that skin is amazing.
Ooh, really nicely timed pull from Hook My Book to avoid the damage from literally Nate. But Orion gets here. Is it going to be enough? The Q goes in. Slow from the W. Not enough stacks for his E though until Nate flashes in there, dashes, and secures the kill onto Hook My Book.
Yep. Didn't have flash. Really good awareness there from Orion to punish this flashless Vladimir. And he went back. He started with a Doran's Ring. He finally went back and got himself a Ampatome, and then came back to lane. He does have the teleport, so he's not going to lose out on a lot as far as the minion wave is concerned. But you're feeling pretty good still.
JLP getting another good whatever. Is that her W pulls you in like that?
That is her E. Her W is the
E. I need to learn Alawi. Like, her kit is so interesting to me, and it's so cool. I just hate playing against it. Revan playing a little aggressive, considering Slaga wasn't in the lane just yet, but it might still be enough. Klugashisa pretty far back. Nice knockback from Asta2 Starry. Looks like it is going to be enough. Oh, and the hook from Asta2 Starry pulls Slaga under the turret, and that's enough for Klugashisa to secure the kill. And now, gold is virtually even after that massive start from Bees.
Yeah, and that being said, you have... This bot lane is basically even at this point. Actually, I can check the gold. It's actually 300 in favor of Symphonia John currently. Um, 500 overall for the entire bot lane, with the assists and the single kill for Revan. But those are the kinds of things that you really are looking for, especially in this lane that you're already.
Ooh, Nate looking for an engage,
behind.
but taking just a little too much damage. Has to run away. Well Hook, my book, is in the pool. Sejuani was there, but just not quite in time to turn it into a big fight.
Yep, and some more trading coming out for the side of the real JLP, getting a lot of damage, and it looks like he has the Heartbound Axe, meaning that he's going to be looking for. Oh my goodness, I get the hiccups at
I
this
hate
time
when that
every night.
happens.
I get it at about 9:30 every single night, and it's the worst feeling ever.
That sounds like hell.
Oh yeah, it's awful. But he has a Heartbound Axe, so he's going to be doing a lot more damage. He's going to have a lot more movement speed. And
Nate with a big. Oh, but Slaga getting in there. Is it going to be enough? Not quite. Kaisa and Samira both buying their noon quivers. So that bot lane going to be even spicier.
Yep. And one thing of note is, for the side of Klug, he does have the pickaxe on top, but not the boots. Whereas Symphonia John elected to go for the Berserker Greaves finish before going towards the Emerald Shield Bow.
That's interesting. Oh, Hook My Book going pretty low under the turret there. Oh, and with Orion there, that is probably going to be it. Hook My Book with a really clean flash, but a fight breaking on top as well. JLP and Bees R Us going at it. Lots of poke both ways, but not quite enough to secure. Looks like a kill was not secured mid lane either, though Bees were able to take that dragon.
Very good.
You're right, Tambo. The bees are dying at an alarming rate. And, well, you can't subscribe to this channel to save the bees. Your subscription will support the Symphonian Educational Foundation.
Absolutely.
Send a bee to college today.
We love it.
Maybe they'll take a day off to explore the hive.
Oh, and that's some really big
Bees are
damage.
really low.
Does he have his fancy feet?
I mean, he's going to have his TP in a second, so honestly, he can probably back and heal up and just TP to it, but he opts to stay under anyway. JLP definitely looking like he wants to dive, but not confident about it, waiting for that shield to die out, and then there's just too big of a wave. Bees R Us knows it, he's just going to back.
Yeah, it's no worries, you know. But I'm curious to see how this, what the build will be for the real JLP. So, because he has the Heartbound Axe, it's not going to be building into the Gore Drinker or the Divine Sunder, which is something that you see on a lot of Lowies. So it's either going to be Triforce or the Stride Breaker. So it looks like it is actually going to be the Stride Breaker coming in for JLP, which would be interesting because of the Glacial Augment. Actually, I really like that now that I think about it. The Glacial Augment giving the slowing straight lines with the slow of the Stride Breaker.
Yeah, no, I think that's super smart.
It'll make it a lot easier for the tentacles to land after the ult is popped. So a little bit of hidden tech coming out for a real JLP. So I really like that. We'll see how well it works out, but on paper I think it's not bad. So Max, I'm going to not flame you.
Oh, the TP is coming in here. Is it going to be enough? Literally, Nate gets there. Oh, he decides to go for it under turret. Revan going pretty low, but Nate about to take too many turret shots. He has to flash out to avoid that last one. Luckily, the turret does not follow him, but it puts Asta Staria below half health, and Symphonia John is out for blood. Nate able to get Revan down in the meantime, though, as a fight breaks out top. BSRS going pretty low into JLP, probably not able to secure anything there. And a pretty hefty gold advantage here in favor of Doms, despite being even in kills and the only dragon going to Bees.
Yeah,
farming will do it.
Yeah, it really is coming out from the top side of the map. You see the 200 gold in favor, about a 3-wave or so advantage for, actually about 2 waves in
These
favor
are
of
us going
the
dangerously low, though. Oh, and JLP gets the pull. Can it be enough?
ult.
He decides the ultimate. Bees R Us flashes. The slow goes out. JLP's looking for this dive. Does he
And
get
he
it?
gets
Yes! He's able to find it.
Oh my god, I'm
Oh, and literally Nate taking an engage in mid lane on Hook My Book. Not going to finish anything off, though. Just a little bit of poke.
just a little bit of trading. But taking sustained trades against Vladimir is, even if you are Silas with a lot of healing with your W, it's hard when he
Oh,
has
Orion with the
empowerment.
ultimate going deep on it, able to secure another kill.
Really good proactive play.
Just setting
Marie
up
on.
a tent on that Vladimir.
Yep. This is what I said in the pregame while you weren't here, but it's fine. You really want to put yourself in a position where Nate is going to be in a position to carry.
Yeah.
If there's a character that can 100% carry a game, 1v9,
Especially when he's on Silas.
definitely one of them.
Yeah, like...
Especially with the ults that you have to steal. You have a Samira ult will just delete an entire team, and or if you're feeling it, you can steal the Alistar ultimate, so you get so much damage reduction, and you still do a lot of damage, because you are Silas.
Yeah.
So
I think
you have a lot of options.
You know, I don't think it's hyper controversial to say Nate's one of the best players in lower division. I don't think we would have been super surprised to see him drafted into upper.
Yeah.
And Silas is definitely one of his better carries. So, you know, you've got a very strong player, very strong for the division, on one of his comfortable champions. Like, you want to enable that. And that's exactly how Orion's playing it. You know, he's just enabling his carry.
Yep. And
Ooh, but Scion wants to shut it down. A huge ultimate followed up by the W for the knockup. Is it going to be enough, though? Nate is able to run away by stealing the ult from Bees R Us, but stealing the ult from Slaga, but it's just not enough. Slaga going very low, going down to Klugescheiße. Massive Alawi ultimate could find another, and Orion's going to find a kill onto Hook My Book as JLP pulls Revan with the E, but not quite enough to finish him off. Klugescheiße hoping to find a kill on Bees R Us, but decides it's not worth it. Goes for the farm instead. And we are going to see the second dragon go to Doms after a 2-1 fight in their favor.
That was a huge teleport from the real JLP.
Yeah, I know God. Chat is saying that Alawi players only have 3 brain cells, but that teleport took at least 4.
Yeah, that was very impressive. So, and you know, it showed the interaction between the Stride Breaker and the Glacial Augment. So, but it looks like a little bit of a scuffle coming out between the junglers. Yeah. Oh my god, I keep wanting to call him a Big Fat LP for all the old league players out there.
Oh, Symphonia John going very low, gonna get taken out for another kill on Nate. Can we see even more? Nate certainly looks like he wants it. Finds a double, finds the triple. Looks like he's not going to go for the quad, though. You hate to see it.
Yeah, and in this moment, you have no idea that there was a 3-0 Samira in the game before this.
Yeah, you would have no idea that the game started with a massive advantage in favor of Bees. Ooh, Nate killing the Rift Herald before it's able to get charge. That's a heartbreaker.
I believe the shutdown actually went to Nate on that triple kill.
Yeah.
So
he's just
so much money
now.
Currently in his pocket.
Oh, but could this be the return with Nate in the bot lane? We see an engage come down mid. 1 kill already. Hook My Book turns it into 2. That is exactly what they need to find. Scion is in the top lane taking a turret while the kills go down mid lane. Bees pushing back as much as they can. JLP terminally low under ult. Tries to drop the ultimate, but it's just not enough. They might be able to take this down. Klugescheiße trying to stop them from getting it, and with the wave coming up, he will be able to save the turret, but they lose 3 of their comrades in the process.
Yep, but Nate does get that first turret in the bot lane, which is absolutely huge.
Yeah, first turret very helpful. Mid-tier 1 drops, though.
The mid siege. So, yes, they take the mid tower and they open up the map, but you are funneling so much gold into the Silas.
Mm-hmm.
And Silas actually electing to go with the Leandries. A lot of times now you'll see the
And there's
Everfrost.
another in favor of red. Another turret for bees. An exactly 2k gold lead. So Dom's still with a gold lead, but significantly less than they had a couple minutes ago.
Yep. Right now,
Pinos
it's
is already helping, though.
it's just sort of a matter of Symphonia John versus the world right now.
It really, yeah, it is a little bit of like, can Symphonia John 1v9 hard enough to out 1v9 Nate?
Yeah. That's really what it's going to come down to.
Both teams setting up around the Rift Herald. We don't often see a 5v5 fight around a Rift Herald, but it looks like that's exactly what's about to go down. Setting up as if this is a Baron fight. The Rift Herald does get started by Doms. Ryan stealing the Blast Cone to keep them out of the pit. Bees R Us with the big ultimate going in there. Does get pulled by Lowy. Revan getting in there as well. Lots of damage going down from Bees. But is it going to be enough to secure any kills? It looks like no, as every member of Doms gets most of their health back, and they secure a kill onto Revan.
Nate's by himself.
Oh, Nate shut down. That's massive.
And
so
it's going to the Vladimir. So
a 2v... Yeah, a 2-for-1 fight, but with that shutdown gold going on to Vlad, pretty even, you know? I mean, 2-for-1, but with 600 gold shutdown. Like, can't complain about that.
Yeah, I mean, right now you still have about if you look at the gold graph, or the gold in general, Nate is still about 1.5k up on Hook My Book.
Mm-hmm.
That gold from the shutdown surely helping bring it back a little bit closer to even, but Nate's still huge. Limit testing a little bit there, and right there, I think they had the right idea. They just had a little bit of rough execution. Symphonia John got zoned really hard from Nate. Nate doing a really good job diving into the backline. And
this looks scary. Slaga going in, thinking about the engage, opts against it. Thresh flashes to get out of there. But honestly, that would have been a 5v3. I feel like Thresh maybe wanted to take that fight. Astaria could have gotten something done there. Now blue team dropping the Rift Herald mid to put some pressure on it to try and secure this. Nate a little bit early with the stopwatch there, but better safe than sorry in situations like this. The last thing he wants to do is be out of the fight before it starts. Now they are able to take that Rift Herald down, but they do sacrifice the Dragon in the process, pushing that gold lead to 3k in favor of Doms.
Yep, and we saw a gold lead similar to this last game. You know,
can Scion find this tier 2? Looks like no one's moving to contest him yet. Nate running up there now, but is it going to be fast enough to stop Bees R Us from getting the turret?
Yeah, you can't really count either of these teams out.
No, not at all. Now the danger pings are coming down, but Bees R Us also has a big ol' ultimate to get out. He can be pretty aggressive here, especially with the support from Slaga Slasha. I think the play here is for Slaga to ult onto that turret to shut it down. But does Nate win the 2v1? Well, now it's a 4v3 with the rotations.
To be completely honest, I think if Slaga just ults the tower just dies outright from the damage.
Yeah.
Volley ult does quite a bit of damage.
Mm-hmm.
Structures. Plus, you have Scion ult, which also does damage to structures.
Now they opt to play a little safe, which is probably smart. Nate does get knocked up. Slaga going in for it now. Flash is in there. Is Nate shut down? Is it enough damage? Knocks him up, and yes, it is enough despite the shield and the healing that he has.
Yeah. Got a little
slowly pushing away at that gold lead.
He got the unstoppable from the Volibear ult, but he instead used it to try and be more aggressive, knowing he would have the healing from the W, but a good pickup of the Bramble Vest on Scion is going to be shutting that down a little bit. So honestly, I think he took the Volibear ult. I think that's a good opportunity for you to try and ult out of the wall, or ult over the wall to get out of that fight, because it was not going to go in your favor, even if you stayed alive just a little bit longer.
Totally fair.
Oh, so all in all, currently just people taking their resets. Got about 3 minutes left before the
Gold
cloud break
advantage is
comes out.
down to 2.5. Damn.
Yeah. That's what happens when you shut down Nate.
Yeah.
Get quite a bit of gold on him. But Klug currently sitting at a 450 shutdown. And Klug actually doing a lot of damage in these fights when he's able to free hit like he's been doing so far. He has a decent amount of front line that'll be able to peel for him. Plus, you
Ooh,
have
Ryan
somebody...
trying to find a fight here. Not quite going to get their backs off as soon as he sees more of the team.
Yep. And you now see 4 items of heal cut coming out on the side of the B's knees.
OPTSM fan is upset about something, but has not yet explained what he's upset about.
If I'm being completely honest, I think it's I think it's the exclamation mark scene.
Oh, Sean Ridge Farm. He's
Sean.
just mad about the command.
Why-
That's hilarious.
Why did I say Sheen? Sean Ridge Farm remembers.
Sheen Ridge Farms. Hashtag fire great. Oh, JLP took the fight there, but Bees Are Us is gonna clean it up. Big
That's the
pick
power
there.
of the heal cut.
Yeah, that heal cut's huge. And literally moments before, Greg saying he can keep inting, they don't have any heal cut, and then 4 of them bought heal cut. So,
Yeah.
doing what they need to do.
Yeah, I mean, when you have Silas, you have Alawi, you need a heal cut as soon as you possibly can. Either before you finish your first item or directly after you finish your first item.
Yeah. This is
So-
looking really good for Bees for this dragon. At exactly
Oh,
1 minute before dragon, they got a couple kills, got the tier 1 bot turret. Like, they're doing what they need to do.
Yeah, they are able. They should start rotating over now. They have a good push already in the mid. They should start setting up vision in the enemy jungle so that they can see when they start rotating over this champion. They have vision currently, but they have it. If you see, it's in their own jungle and towards the mid.
Oh, a big hook from Asta2 Staria. Pulls hook my book. Maybe a little bit of overkill ulting him, but who cares if it gets the job done? A big pick right before the dragon comes up, and now any fight here is going to be a 4v5 in favor of Doms. Ryan trying to turn it into something. Slaga has to use the ult defensively. Nate steals his ult and uses it to chase him down, but it's not quite enough. Blastcone is going to get Slaga out of there, but they probably lose the dragon in the process.
And that's really good for Bees, or not Bees, Doms. Because you force out the ult, so he doesn't really have the ability to go in. He doesn't have flash. He can't really go in for a steal, especially with how chunked out he was. So you get the dragon. You get a lesser cooldown on the all-important Sejuani ult, the all-important Silas ult, and the Alawi ult, which also does still a lot of damage, even though she's a, off tank. But now you are threatening soul point from every part, or from every dragon here on out. Of course, we saw this last game, and they weren't able to ever actually get that soul. So we'll see if they're able to accelerate themselves to a point where they are going to be continuously winning these fights. Obviously, they got a really good pick. I think that's how they're going to be able to continue to keep themselves in this game, because they have to worry about the scaling of the Vladimir.
Wait, did you call Sejuani an off tank?
No, Alawi.
Alawi, okay. Because, yeah, Guy Fieri in chat was like, Sejuani's not an off tank, she's a tank. And I'm like, I don't remember someone calling her an off tank, but, like, you're
No,
right, yeah. Like,
I
Sejuani's
may have
just a
gotten
tank.
my words mixed up, but when I said off tank, I was referring to the Alawi.
Which is fair. I would call Alawi an off tank.
Especially with the build that she has currently, because like Stridebreaker is a quote-unquote bruiser item. Same thing with Asterix. But
oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, Eric, the word we use in this game is bruiser, not off tank.
yeah,
It's almost like Eric and I are both off tank mains in Overwatch.
to be fair, I use the word off tank. So
Yeah, it
that
just
was
makes
on me
sense.
first. But
Oh, big fight breaking out here. Very chaotic fight. Revan going to be
my
the first one to go
God.
down. Klugescheisse follows it up with a double. Can we turn it into a triple? Maybe. Great peel from the rest of the team for Klugescheisse. Turns it into a triple kill. A lot of his team going down in the meantime, though. He's going to have to clean this up with the quad and the
post it
penta.
to the page.
No, I
Nope,
think he
that's
made
the
it a penta.
nope.
No,
It's a
it was
quad.
a quad.
That was the already dead Scion. So shout out to Aruyan, saving him from getting the pentakill. Quad was only here.
Ladies and gentlemen, post it to the page.
Post it to the page, but actually did everybody on Tom's there did so much damage. You know, they funneled into the Alawi ult. Alawi did a lot of damage. And Nate, of course, being Silas, being on this 2.5 item spike at this point, doing a ton of damage. And Klug, now 3 items finished for him, has just been pumping out the damage and positioning really well in this game. So, really proving to any possible doubters his ability to play AD carry after, being the Nico guy.
Yeah, and Gerg saying it in chat, but I think worth acknowledging in case anyone's not watching chat, that Silas with Alistar ult is disgusting.
Yeah.
That's so huge.
Yeah, you get, let's see, Nate's level 14, so, oh my god, directed camera, please.
Directed camera, please.
So, getting the
Nate
level
just
2...
walked into that. It doesn't matter, though. Plenty of damage, plenty of healing. He'll be fine.
So, the level 2 Alistar ult gives 65% reduced damage taken for a total of 7 seconds, which is absolutely nuts.
Yeah, that's wild.
We see Hook My Book actually teleported to the bot lane to contest the Alawi. I don't know how I feel about that because Baron is up. However, the Dragon is also up. Teleport is up for literally Nate and BZRUS. BZRUS with the Titanic Hydra is going to be able to push these waves a lot faster, and I don't think he's going to commit, even though this is sole point for the side of Doms, I don't think he's going to commit the teleport.
It's a scary amount of damage, but BZRUS really holding his own there against literally Nate. Sort of trading blows equally. Oh, big engage from Slagaslasha. Kind of realizes it was not the play he wanted. Has to ult out, back up a little bit, and possibly goes back in, but I don't think they're going to. I think they're just going to run, and it is Revan who goes down first. Meanwhile, literally Nate going pretty low in the top lane.
But he does take down BZRUS, so this is probably a free soul for the blue team.
Oh, especially with that hook. Klugescheisse with the shutdown with that very clean, well-timed hook on the Vladimir. And I mean,
Saria has been playing out of his mind this game.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly,
his
everybody
hooks have
on
been
these
beautiful.
Everybody except for Max, because fuck Max. Oh my god, yes, Doms. everybody on Doms except for Max, because we don't like Max.
No, we love Max.
Has been playing out of their mind.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Max fan, but
so Doms gets the soul,
immediately goes to Baron.
Gets the Baron as well. So it's looking really nice for them. 3 item spikes are now coming out for both the carries. Currently, make that a 4 item spike now for the Kaisa, sitting on the Runans, just now purchased. So Klug is going to be pumping out damage as long as he's kept alive, which currently Aruyan and Asatustari have been doing a magnificent job at keeping him alive. So as long as he hasn't died yet, so he's been doing a good job of just sort of positioning well and staying safe and staying with the support to not get absolutely destroyed by the Samira, which is also now on 2 items. Going with the Bloodthirster second, actually, so not going to be doing as much damage as she could if she would have gone for something like the Infinity Edge or the Collector second, but doing her best to really try and just stay alive in these fights as long as possible because she has so much sustain and the ability to lifesteal really well with her kit, especially with the ultimate. I know I've complained about that ult since day one because it's kind of BS, but Slaga looking.
Oh, BZRS going for the big engage, hoping he can find something with the Slaga chasing out Klugescheisse. Does find the stun and about half of his health, but is it going to be enough? Klugescheisse with the return CC and just a ton of damage.
Oh my god!
Red turret dies, Slaga dies. Oh, Nate going pretty low, though, in the middle of all of this. And he does stopwatch, possibly saving himself, but ends up dying just after that to Symphonia John. But is it going to be enough? Symphonia John going
down.
very low, but gets a lot of damage before it happens. Also, Saria and Ryan both have to run now. Revan trying to clean it up.
Revan
Accidentally
actually
headbutts
saved
him the wrong way,
Saria.
but kills Ryan in the process. So that's something.
Yeah, but the whole time, the real JLP pushes the spot
JLP
lane,
just taking an inhib.
takes the inhib for free.
It just feels like it just feels like right now, no matter what bees do right, Doms is doing something else at the same time to nullify it. Right? Like that was a very good engage, very good fight for bees, focused the right targets, did what they needed to do to make a fight go in their favor. But JLP takes an inhib. Right? Like it's just every time they do something right, it doesn't seem to matter in the grand scheme of the game.
Yeah. And it's really hard right now, to be completely honest. This game has just been so accelerated in favor of Doms. And I mean Doms this time, not bees.
It's so hard.
Sitting at it.
Game one, you get so used to which team's on which side, and then they flip.
Yeah, exactly. And so 8k gold lead, 8.5k gold lead or so in favor of Doms. So currently looking to make this a 1-1. But
Ooh, Ostastaria with a cheeky hook on the Gromp over the wall. Doesn't find him what he wants, but spooks him out.
yep, they're just taking the blue buff, handing it over to real JLP.
Greg is just, this is like the fourth time Greg in chat has been like, I'm so jealous of lower league. Y'all have so much more fun. I mean, honestly, yeah, it's pretty fun down here. Gotta tell you. My team has won one game this entire season, but I have still had so much fun. Like, oh, huge engage comes down under the turret there. Ryan taking a lot of turret damage. Looks pretty scary, but God, there's just so much damage coming out from Nate. Oh, Nate taking quite a bit of turret, though. Is it going to be enough? And no, he actually goes down again. Nate dying to Symphonia John, and the rest of his team just has to dip. That is a 1-1, but pretty helpful. Oh, and the re-engage coming down. BZRS hoping that he can turn it into something. Is what? Okay, spicy. Is it enough, though?
That's the problem.
Cyanol can't find anything now.
That's the one problem you get with Nate stealing the Alistar ult. He gets a little bit overzealous and tanks the turret up, but now you have the collector finished for Symphonia John, so if he reaches that execution threshold, that Alistar ult's not going to do anything to help him. It's true damage. The damage it does is true, so it doesn't get reduced by the damage reduction. And you die. And it's painful. So taking the Alistar ultimate is good, but you don't want to be taking it. Yes, you take reduced damage, but you're still taking damage. So it's something to keep in mind going forward. Obviously, even if he dies and takes a lot of enemy cooldowns, Klug is now full build, level 15, has the Guardian Angel, so he has to be killed twice, and it is the Elder Drake spawning now.
Slaga trying to kind of make something happen. Another big hook from Ostitute Starry. It turns into a kill on Hook My Book, and now it's a 4v5 with a massive advantage in favor of Doms. They're looking for their second kill, not quite finding it yet until literally Nate takes Slaga down, finds another onto Symphonia John. Ostitute Staria wins the 1v1 with Revan on the back end of the fight. BZRS going down last, and they could go for Elder, but hell, why go for Elder when you can just end the game?
A perfect 5-0 team fight in favor of Doms. They don't even get the Q or the they don't even get the Zonias out of Nate. They don't get the Guardian Angel out of Klug. So all in all, just a perfectly fought fight, and that is a 1-1 for Doms, and actually ending with a 66.6k gold.
Yeah, you love to see it, man.
Yeah.
Well, all right, let's get ourselves a MVP for that game too, and let's get some folks in here.
Yep. So I will get the straw poll started for game 2. So we have the real JLP. Ruyan, literally Nate, Klug, and Asta. So, who's your pick?
Honestly, Asta 2-star, yeah. Like, I know Nate kind of carried, but the number of times that fights were won before they started because of his hooks, like,
Oh my god.
it was
So,
just ridiculous.
I know I just asked you a question, but I have to stop for a second and give a huge shout out to Ruru Russo or Rura Russo, Elliot's brother, for gifting 20 tier 1 subs to PMA LCS. Absolutely huge, my guy. You are amazing.
Dude, that's actually nutty. Thank you so much, man. That's ridiculous. You love to see it. And I think we have to thank Elliot a little bit. I assume it's Elliot winning a game that led us here. So thank you.
Yeah.
That's seriously amazing.
Teamwork makes
you so much,
the
man.
dream work. Paying for my
Stealing
brother's
the
mad skill for
pentakill.
keeping the
No,
team
no,
humble
no,
by
no,
stealing
dude.
the penta.
He was just saving the quadra. We hate pentakills in this league. Pentas are for squares.
So, straw poll is in the chat for game 2. I think Asta Tustaria. Yeah, I have to give it to Asta Tustaria. His hooks actually carried that game. He had a lot of really good hooks onto, ironically, Hook My Book, but getting actually huge, keeping himself and Klug alive was actually what made this game so easy. Well, I won't say easy, but making the game so much more manageable for Doms. And so, yeah, I'm going to give my vote over to Asti Staria.
Fair. That's fair.
Honorable mention, of course, though, to Rion and literally Nate. Both of them just doing so much for the team. Rion making some really good picks, pulling off some really good ganks, and Nate, even with the kind of questionable early game, kept a level head, just played the game and did so much work, putting out a lot of damage, putting out a lot of pressure, and actually, let's take a look at the damage graphs. So, actually, Klugscheißer doing the most damage in the game, no surprise. And then following him up is actually the real JLP. So, a lot of damage from the Alawi. And I actually really liked the Alawi build. So, yeah, it worked out really well. Good games from Dom overall. But
Fair. We'll get some friends in here in a second.
Yeah. Straw poll kind of got buried by the hype behind the 20 gifted subs.
Which
so
is
I just
fair.
again,
I don't think anyone
perfectly fair.
Can blame them for that. However,
so I'll give it a second. Vote for your choice of MVP, and then we'll bring them in. We'll talk a little bit about the games, talk about sets, talk about playoffs, talk about your favorite cookie recipes.
really talk about whatever moves
No.
you.
Yep, it'll be fun. So,
Have I gotten a text or an invite? Oh, it's an ARAM invite from a friend of mine from high school. Maybe I will do that in a second.
Buddy told us not to ban Udyr. Well, you learned. You learned to ban the Udyr. We did not ban the Udyr either, and that's why we lost. Specifically that.
Yeah, that's
Obviously,
the play.
it wasn't anything else. Couldn't have been. When isn't Max trolling? Let's be honest here. Alright. I will give it 10 more seconds of voting, but currently it's a pretty good lead here for Asta Tustaria. So I think it's safe to say Asta Tustaria is your game 2 MVP. So yeah, let's we can go to player of the game 1. And we can get Slaga Slasha and the captain of bees and the captain of Doms and Astustaria in player of the game 1.
We'd love to see it.
So I'll meet you over there.
What's up?
Bonjour.
Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon, brothers. I mean, evening.
Hi.
Hello.
GG's.
How y'all doing?
Very good.
Very
good.
good indeed.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Listen, it's hard to ban out the champion Ocean Landing. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my god, it's not that much of an ocean. Just ban the Udyr and put me on something that won't steamroll you, please.
You mean, put you on Sejuani as an alternate, which can still just run at us, and we're like, well,
I mean, you picked the Sedge, so
Yeah, I was gonna say,
that's true. We did that.
you
We
took it.
changed it up game 2.
you finally learned. Good for you.
Took us a little bit.
I was still waking up.
Okay.
So
Well,
immediately, I would say my first question is for bees. Either one of you is. A little bit of salt behind this, but you ran the literal exact same comp that you ran versus my team GG Easy when we played. Is this just something that you guys are super confident with? So you feel super comfortable with it, or is it just this will work against the style of the team, so we'll just go with it?
To be honest, it was actually kind of an accident that we stumbled upon that comp. Not last week, but like going into last week, we were just like, hey, let's try like a Swain bot. Maybe have some AP options. And then me and John played it a couple times, and it was like, oh my gosh, this is disgusting. What? And then we're like, okay, now we need some AD threats. Let's see, Tyler, how's your like Lucian? He's like, oh, I play it ladly. And then so that's how. And then we did it last week, and honestly, we were surprised that we got it this week. We had like on our little sheet, we have a comp 1, which is like the dream comp, and we literally got that comp.
Fair.
Like
No,
it was,
wait.
this is
No,
the
wait.
comp we want, and we got all of it.
When I was doing my draft comp, like that comp, I wrote next to like if the enemy team
Trolls.
troll draft, basically. That's what I note next to it. If they troll draft and didn't watch last week's game, we get this comp. And we did.
We also thought that the sway they were gonna ban the sway because I know Klug plays it a lot, so we were like, oh, it's gonna be pick ban, you know, like both teams are gonna ban it out, right? Because both bot laners can play it. So that's what we thought going into it, but you know they left it open. We were like, okay, cool, you know.
Yeah, that's actually a really good like pick ban strategy from you guys. Well done, well done.
I will say one thing about this team is we like to think a lot about our draft, and we always have a couple like pivot options. I testament that to our coach. While we kind of come up with the comps, he gives us a lot of things to be wary of. So that's nice. But yeah,
And who's your guys' coach?
Jacob.
Ah,
word.
okay.
Flirty,
Of
the boy.
course. That makes sense. what a guy.
Absolute legend.
So, really good game from you guys. Obviously, I don't want to ignore the Doms boys. So, my question is for either one of you guys, to be completely honest. How does it feel carrying Max every week?
Dude, I ain't gonna lie. I don't know how you feel, Klug. Max's Alawi was filthy this game.
Oh yeah, it
Yeah.
was super nice.
Smacked.
Pretty much everyone
We,
played really clean that game. To be fair, like
Yeah, I don't know. I'll let Klug speak to that because Klug carries me as well. I don't know.
We are not carrying Max by any means. He is just as much of a member of this team, and actually, he has been hard winning, if at least not going even in lane, in I would say the past 3 weeks, if not more. Does that sound right about Matt?
Yeah, he's definitely had a lot of growth and improvement throughout the split. And like I know that it's just like, oh, go to Orn and Cho'Gath jail. But like especially the way that we play, which is a very like, as we saw, it's a very scrappy team fight oriented style sometimes. Him just hitting a fat like anywhere from 2 to 5 man Orn ulti is just like, all right, that's all we needed. And it's just like disgusting.
Or as we saw in this secondary game, if he can get his Alawi ult off and get everyone to the point where I can two-shot him with auto attacks, that's all it needs.
ADC can be MVP.
Yeah, that was really
I'm not
good.
gonna lie, you guys. Nate was so annoying that whole game.
Oh, his Silas is so good.
Like,
for him
it's,
to do that. Oh.
it's his ult selection is what it was. Every single fight he stole my ult, and so he would never die. Like literally,
Yup, we were talking about
me and Tyler were 2v4ing the back line, doing okay. We both ended up dying. Where I'm like, oh yeah, all 4 of them are on us. We're just doing a lot of damage. We're doing a lot, like basically soaking them up. And I look back, I'm like, oh god, Silas is 1v3ing our back line. That's not good. So. You know, he played really well. His ult selections were very good. And he was just able to honestly not let John play the game for real.
Yeah, and that was a big thing. Is when as soon as we like got done with draft 2, I was like, all right, look, Vladimir scales, but like we don't let it get to that point, and like if we can just literally sit on the Samira, if it's just exhaust her or like Nate's just like, oh no, I'll just dive her. I got it, easy peasy. I'm like, okay, do your thing.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Grab Alistar ult and never die.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
I
it's
also
like
gotta-
busted.
I gotta give you guys props that second game for such a fiesta of a level 1 and having to deal with a 3-0 Samira from the second minute of the game and still being able to pull that back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I hit the hook, and in my mind, I was like, we should just walk away. We shouldn't fight this.
Okay, yeah. Also, it's a Scion, really.
Yeah, Nate's like, no. Nate's like, no, go. I was like, I don't know about this. In the back of my mind, I was like, I don't know about this one, Chief. We did it, but I just didn't vocalize it because I was like, Nate's our shot caller. I trust him.
I was not going into that queue. It's queue, right?
Yeah, his the Scion Q is disgusting, especially the
Yeah.
one. Like, there's so
So
much
that
damage.
combined with Samira passive, combined with Alistar knockups, it was ridiculous.
Yeah,
I was
he's
still
still
able to
doing
get one of those, the one kill we got, but it was rough.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll say this. I found it as a jungler very hard to play against you the second game, just because like top lane is a dead lane at level 6. Nate was playing Silas, who has a dash, and I have no tank assist. And then bot lane, like Matt was just playing really well with the Lancers.
jail.
Like typically, I do a really good job of trying to find advantages through ganks, and I was not allowed to do that this game. So good job.
Can confirm, as I subbed for your team, you are fantastic about finding your advantages and pushing them.
Yeah.
That is the
we
job.
were talking about that a lot throughout that game. Like you and Orion both are very good at that. Being like, this is my lane to push, and then actually pushing it, as opposed to people like me who look at the game state and go, "That's a good lane to push. I'm gonna go gank this other one."
Yeah. I think Elliot, that's Orion, he definitely outplayed me this series. I think, now granted, I'm not a primary jungler, I believe he got counter matchup on me those games, but either way, very well played by him. Like, he was always taking my jungle and forcing me to fight for things. Like, even just vision in my jungle was hard to keep up because he was always, like, contesting and hiding in bushes. And then, like, game 1, he literally popped out of every bush I didn't want him to be in. It was the most annoying thing I've ever experienced.
Like, oh, Oliver's here again. Oh, Oliver's here again.
Like,
Yeah.
can
Jungle game or something.
please?
Are there any questions from the chat? Anybody?
No, I'm good. I've sucked enough. I shouldn't say that on stream. I have stroked enough ego, you know?
Oh my gosh. Oh my yikes.
Oh dear.
Alright. Anything from you, Keegan?
No, you're all
Yeah, I gotta-
beautiful.
I got a question for the casters.
Yes.
Hey, can we raid Jirachi TFT?
Oh,
Because
are they
they're
streaming
doing
right
their
now? Absolutely.
Yeah, they're in. For everyone who's not there,
Do I have the power to do that as the streamer, or does someone who's in charge of the?
You can just you should be able to just slash raid.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, but
so-
I don't have channel permission.
But good.
Wait, they're top 3!
Where are the mods when you need them?
Mods,
Everybody
please.
just go to Jirachi TFT. Just go.
Yeah, true.
Yep.
And then you go raid in their chat.
Go! Fly!
Do it.
Yeah, support another brother who is also.
Very talented brother.
I will kiss you, chat. I will kiss you if you're still here.
All right, y'all go enjoy that. Thanks so much. Great games, guys. It was a ton of fun. Have a lovely evening. And
Goodbye.
come back tomorrow, maybe. Probably not tomorrow. Probably next week.
Tomorrow's Monday, so no.
Yeah,
Tomorrow's
come
Monday,
back
so don't
next
do that.
week for more of this.
Actually, Salty Runback might be tomorrow, so maybe tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Maybe come back
that's
tomorrow.
true.
A little
Come back
salty
for Salty
run.
Run Back. Final answer.
All right. GG's.